Behind the mask.
What up, my boy?
What's good, family? Another day in paradise. You know what it is.
Absolutely. When I could sit here and just look at your face, dog. Because we've been through a lot of challenges.
Yeah, man. Ups and downs, you know what I'm saying? Stress, time of heat, deadlines to meet. It is what it is. We still here. Every day above the ground is a good day.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Living
sir.
in paradise, as you like to say.
That's right. That's right, man. We're back. Season 5.
Yeah, and speaking of terms of back, I went back to Buffalo a few weekends ago.
You did. You did. Legends of the game. One of the best players, linebackers to ever play for the Buffalo Bills. Must have been an honor for you to go back, man. How'd that come about?
Huge honor. Huge honor. And they were trying to get me to come back. It's been a couple of years now.
Yeah.
But the pandemic hit. And then, just with the schedules, me working with ESPN, SEC Network, it's just a lot of moving parts. But this time, we were able to make it happen.
Yeah.
And, it was an emotional roller coaster, to say at the least.
Yeah, man. And talk about, so the legends of the game, they reach out, former teams that we played for, and they request your presence to come back, sometimes to be honorary captains of a game, sometimes to come with a group of guys and talk about things that happened when you actually played on the team. And your situation was a little bit different. We saw some of the stuff on social media, a couple of the clips went viral. You actually called me during the game.
I did. I totally forgot I called you.
You called me, man. One of our former teams, the Bills, man. So what happened, man? Let the audience that don't know what happened, bro.
All right,
Had to be an honor.
And it definitely was an honor to be called back to be the legend of the game. But this is where it all went wrong. So after being called back, all right, we go through the details of it. Okay, you got to go through flights. You got to go through the logistics.
Yeah.
What am I actually doing? What's the scope of work you're asking me to do if you want me to come back? But in return, I want something in return, too, to make sure that I can sit down and enjoy the game. You know as well as I know, because you know me so well, I don't like watching games in person.
Yeah, it's a little bit different.
It's a lot bit different.
It's a little bit different. We're used to actually being on the field playing and being in the stands. Respect to all the fans, but being in the stands is a little bit different. For me, the beer getting tossed on you, popcorn or whatever.
Yeah, but just because we ain't never been in the stands before.
There you go. Since kids, at least.
Yeah, since kids. So, anyway, let's start with the logistics. Booking the plane tickets. I fly a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would love to tell you that I want to fly private. Do sometimes. I don't do it all the time. But, this particular time, it was more so like, hey, look, this is what I need in order for this to happen. Give me some first class seats. Me and my assistant will come up, make sure, the lodging is taken care of.
Yeah.
Making sure whether or not we're going to get a car or a rental car. And at the beginning of the week, I thought all of that was taken care of. And a lot of the details, they were not executed the way that we actually talked about.
Yeah.
And the next part is I didn't find that out until towards the end of the week. Now, I chose to be like, you know what? Well, this didn't happen. This didn't happen. I'm not getting on that plane.
Yeah.
But
That's
I was like, you know what? Yeah, that's typically what I would do. But I said, you know what? I'm gonna be the bigger person. We'll find a way to work this out.
Yeah.
Talk about first class seats. That stuff wasn't all taken care of. Get on the plane. Before I even get on the plane, I actually do 2 interviews with the Buffalo Bills Live, and another one, just letting people know, getting the fan interaction.
Shout out to Bills Mafia.
Shout out to Bills Mafia for that. So we get through that process. I get in town. I'm like, all right, hey, it's just me. My assistant didn't come just because, some other stuff had happened. So we get there. I get there. Everything is taken care of from a logistics standpoint of the hotel. Get to the game. walk in, greet it. You know, I'm excited, bro. Get a chance to see some of the fans who actually recruited me when I played my last game in Cincinnati before I signed to become a free agent, before I signed to become a player with the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
And that part was great. Where it all went wrong was just after the celebration that we had. And the celebration on the field, that part was great.
It looked amazing, man.
Like it was to have the opportunity to not only go talk to some of the same season ticket holders that was just sitting right there by the stands, to take time out, just maybe even like 1 minute, bro, to see like the same lady who greeted me every time that I came out of the tunnel.
Yeah, that's dope.
I actually signed a poster that she had from back in the day.
That energy too.
Man, the energy was on another level.
Yeah.
70-some thousand people. And they, you know, before the game, they're screaming TKO. So we, you know, I'm all in.
You hype.
I'm hyped.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, Coach McDermott, show me what a visor, helmet, shoulder pads.
Ready to get back
Your
out
boy
there.
ready to go.
Get a couple snaps.
Yeah, I could take a couple. Pick and choose wisely. But moving forward, bro, we got through that. And, you know, did the Buffalo chant, and the whole stadium joined in. After that, that's where it all went wrong. For me, I'm thinking, all right, cool. I've been to other teams that I played with. And you go upstairs and you sit down in the suite. A couple of times I've been in owner suites, but at least been in a suite to where your view wasn't obstructed. And so I walk in and I realize, okay, this is a big suite. See a lot of people in here. It's like more like 300 people in here. Then we keep moving. I'm like, okay, maybe we're walking through another side door going down to another suite that will allow us to kind of have our space, meaning the NFL legends, myself, a couple of other guys that played. Darryl Talley was there. And so go in and I realized this is still part of the suite to where it was 300 people, maybe 300 people. I don't know. A lot of damn people.
Yeah.
But it was, I felt like I was put in the corner of a corner suite. And so for me, I'm like, all right, I don't know, maybe this ain't it. It gotta be more. Let me just go and check and see. So I walk in, sit, I stand up, and I look, I see Darryl Talley over there, and I'm like, okay, I see DT over here.
Yeah, another Bills legend.
Yeah, another Bills legend. I see Drew, not Bledsoe, but one of my teammates that played with me in Buffalo, he was there. And I was like, I turned around and I'm like, yo, is this it? And then they were like, oh yeah, this is it. Nah, it can't be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm just telling the truth. It's not so much of me busting on them. I'm just telling my side of the story.
Yeah.
And so I was like, no. I was like, I can't even see.
Yeah.
You sit down, the view is obstructed by the third tier of the seating in the stadium is coming all the way down.
Yeah.
So I felt like I'm looking down trying to see, and I'm like, and I'm like, come on, man. And so at that point, I was like, this ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
I didn't come all the way up here for this to work like this. So I told my man, I said, look, I can't see. And I don't know if y'all put other people in this or this is something new, because I have not been back. This ain't it for me. And this definitely wasn't what I was expecting.
Right.
Can you do anything else to be able to make this circumstance be different?
What did they say after that?
He was like, well, the only thing that we have is we have a corporate box that you can go sit in with our corporate vendors. And I was like, nah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, that's like a paid appearance.
Exactly. You get it.
Yeah, that's a paid appearance.
It's a paid appearance.
Yeah.
But once again, I'm the person who is coming up, fulfilling all of the obligations that you asked me to, But now when it comes time for me to enjoy the game with the rest of the legends who are in the suite, we can't even see. We got a conflict, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I was like, nah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. One, because I didn't say this. I'm not. You're still getting more out of this than I am.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
At what point are you going to show me some type of gratitude as well? So for me, I was more so looking for, oh, you know what? My bad. We have a seat over here in the owner's box that you can go ahead and take. No problem.
Mm-hmm.
Terry Pagula, he'll bring you over or whatever.
Right.
It ain't I thought that, but it ain't my job to say it.
Right. Can't
if you wanted me there, you would have had me there.
Yeah.
So move on, come to find out that they just didn't have any more just due to everything was sold out. What I was told.
Yeah, that's why. And I'm kind of chuckling over here at some of it because I know what happened and I know you. You know, obviously traveling with you, being with you for several years, bro. I know I know the attention to details. You know what I'm saying? And I can only imagine what led up to you calling me, because you called me like damn near prior to halftime.
I did.
And you was like, yo, because the game was still on. I was up in Atlanta watching the game. He was like, man, I got to tell you what happened. And I knew that pissed you off. So, you know, kind of like I do talk you off the ledge. I was like, just chill. And he was like, nah, I'm out. And you left. So I applaud you for, you know, standing up for what you feel is right. And you tell me something in the business world that sometimes you got to let people know how you need to be treated.
You have to.
You got to let people know how particularly when they don't know. And I get it, because you're, you know, like I said, you're a legend, somebody that one of the best Bills players ever. So obviously, is a certain expectation that you have, and for legends, there's an expectation that we have, and it's not on no spoil, none of that, or privilege. It's facts. You know what I mean? That's one of the reasons I never went back to any of the teams that I played for until last year. And I was done in 2009, and 2022 is the first year I went back to Carolina with the Panthers to a Legends weekend.
And how was that?
It was cool, but one of the things the reason I didn't want to go back was the hardest thing for an athlete, a former athlete, is like being forgotten. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't want to go back and be like, okay, Steve Smith, Julius Peppers, Tutan Reyes. I ain't going back, yo. I'm just keeping it 100. I'm keeping it a bill. So, you know, no lies of the lounge, bro. So I never felt like the need to go back. But when I did go back, the good part is the camaraderie is there. You see your former guys, teammates you played with, the legends. We went on Sam Mills' weekend, Hall of Fame player that played with the Panthers. He was there one year and went on to coaching, and he passed away from cancer. And it was a keep pounding weekend. So that was, you know, dear to my heart. So seeing those guys and hearing the stories, people remember certain things that happened with us in the locker room was amazing. In hindsight, if you had something to do different, or if you could have been treated a different way, or you feel like this is what I expected, what would you have rather have had happen in that instance?
The communication of just doing the right thing. I'm not asking for anything outside the stratosphere.
Mm.
I just want you to do what's right. Well, what does that look like? Well, at least if you're going to bother me and bring me out of my home, the comfort of my own domain, at least give me some assurances that we talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Logistical. Like, make sure I get up here first class.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just a standard.
Yeah.
I've been with other teams who I played with on the backside of my career, and they love me as if I played there. They drafted me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I put in work, but you would expect more from a team that actually came and like, you know what? We want you. We need you. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Now, the other part of it is, what's the solution? How can we rectify this? Which I'm totally cool with.
Mm-hmm.
One of the solutions, hey, well, why don't you just come on over here with Mr. Pagula? We'll sit in the owner's suite.
Mm-hmm.
hey, you ain't got no problems out of me now.
Facts.
But that wasn't even brought to my attention. It wasn't even brought as a solution. Mm-hmm. So now I'm thinking, well, what else you got? Then I hear other people chiming in. Well, this person got a suite. You can go here. Oh, they have a suite. We can go here. Oh, no. Not today.
Yeah.
I ain't doing that, bro.
Yeah, that's running you around as, it's transactional. You know what I'm saying?
Is what?
Transactional.
Yeah, so.
And if you ain't getting broke off, what's the flip side of that? What's
it's
the
transactional.
Yeah.
If you ask me to go and sit inside somebody else's suite, I'm still appeasing you and what your big picture is. Mm-hmm. I'm still qualifying. I'm checking off the box for your goals. Mm-hmm. How can you help me if this is a partnership? Right. At the end of the day, let me tell you something, man. Like we play ball, but like I'm a business man.
Facts.
So if I'm gonna take time to come out of my day, take time out of my day to come up, at least just show me the respect that I deserve. Mm-hmm. And then you mentioned it earlier. Sometimes you have to remind people of how they need to be treated. Yeah. And this was a case right here which hurt me. Yeah. I felt hurt. I felt it made for a second. It made you feel like you was worthless. Yeah. You felt, what's the song? You felt like a penny with a hole in it. You ain't got no use for nobody. Yeah. So for me, at least come to the owner suite or have another suite or something for a backup in the event that it just ain't right. Yeah. And I think the biggest thing that I was disappointed in is I've always been a team player because I believe in anything that you do in life, you're going to have a few mavericks that's going to help get you to that next level. Mm-hmm. Like they're your special players. Typically in the NFL, it's quarterbacks. Yeah. It's defensive ends. So those are the guys like, those are special guys. But what I'm asking you is just the standard of what you should be doing anyway. Right. And because you did not come back to me with any resolution as far as how can we solve this problem, that's what bothered me. And that's why I decided, you know what? I think it's better if I just remove myself from the situation because I don't want to say something that probably will be held against me. Yeah. And ultimately, I felt like by me removing myself from the game, that would speak volumes more than anything else that I could have done at that moment. Yeah. And so that's why I decided to do what I did.
Yeah, I think you handled it the right way, even with the tweet that you put out addressing your side of what happened so it wouldn't be misconstrued and people see you leaving the stadium before the game is off. You let people know, well, this is the reason I left. And salute to that for, again, speaking your truth. And I think one of the things I can say that I appreciated was the next morning, the GM from the Bills, Brandon Beane, shot me a text like, hey, I need to get in contact with Takeo. And you guys spoke. So I think, knowing what I know now, I think that was commendable because he didn't have to do that.
No, he
know what I'm saying? His job is transactional on a team with the players.
With the active guys more so.
With the active guys and team ownership. That's his will. But because he knows the relationship and because he felt that that's not the way that they wanted to be represented, the Bills wanted to be represented, he reached out to you. So what was that like, man?
It was good to see. To have Brandon Beane, the general manager, pop me a text early in the morning. Hey, Takeo, I just want to make sure you straight. Let me know what happened. I'll see to my best that we'll fix it. Mm-hmm. And we'll make sure moving forward that it doesn't happen again. Yeah. And that's the thing that I'm more so, I guess I would say I was happy about. Yeah. Because he didn't have to. His job is really the active players. Mm-hmm. And so as a GM, he did that. Also the head coach, Sean McDermott, he even reached out with Takeo, like, I hate to hear about what happened, but however I can help, you have my number.
Yeah.
Let me know, and then we'll figure this thing out together. So I appreciate the little things like that.
Yeah.
Like, for real, because they didn't have to.
And it's in season too, so that ain't even the focus. You know what I mean? So that's a silver lining. You know what I mean? Kind of shows those individuals who they are.
Yeah,
But,
and so I talked to the business operations and to the team and to actually one executive, and we had a great conversation. So everything that I shared with you, I shared with her.
Yeah.
I was a little bit more graphic just because I wanted to make sure that the point got across.
Yeah, absolutely. 1,000%.
You know what I mean? Like, we like telling stories here at the BTM Lounge.
Mm-hmm.
We do.
No lies in the lounge.
No lies in the lounge. And so for me, I wanted to make sure that since we do tell stories, I wanted to put some color behind it. So I was very graphic with it. And I just expressed the disappointment from the assurances that were told that I would have before I arrived, and I never received them.
Yeah.
So, to put all of that to bed, that's what happened.
Yeah.
And hopefully for me, other legends who come up to do the legend of the game, that they don't have to go through this.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Yeah.
That's the whole point. Like, I got so many calls from Hall of Famers. I got so many calls from guys who played the game who didn't feel like they had a voice, and they were like, thank you.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. So for me, I just hope moving forward that if this thing is going to get right, and regardless of however I may felt that day, one thing will always remain the same. I'm always going to be a Buffalo Bill.
Facts.
I ain't gonna never get that misconstrued. But if you want me to come back, I don't feel like it's my job to say, hey, I want to come back. I don't know if I'm signing up for the same thing again. So for me, I just think moving forward, as they solidify that gap of need and that piece of the business as far as what they got to do, I think it's important to have somebody in that role who not only understands both sides, meaning one side of it is, being able to be relatable with the player. The other side of it is understanding the business side so that they can temper expectations and be able to set people up and say, look, this is what it is. This is what I can do. This is what I can't do.
Yeah.
And when you have somebody in those type of positions, hopefully a respectable person, now, man, everything is like, we ain't got to be here. The only emotional roller coaster that you will experience, hopefully that will be from the game.
Yeah.
It won't be from all the other stuff, which should be control variables.
Facts. Got to treat the legends like legends, man.
Got to, bro. Yeah. We in the business. Sometimes you got to remind people of how you need to be treated.
Facts. Salute, man. Appreciate your honesty, bro.
Already, bro. I thank you for asking me.
Got to go behind the mask, man.
Got to.
For sure.
Behind the mask.
It is.